back. There's a £5,000 reward to anybody that gives us the information that leads to the parts of this car. But now we have new evidence.
Today we have this 1996 Lamborghini Diablo.
Let's find out.
They paid cash. I know for sure because I took the payment for that.
The police advised me that it was probably out of the country within a couple of days. It's like cellophane wrapping. I don't know whether that'll come off.
Somebody out there knows something. These parts on a shelf. Nowhere else would you see two Diablo doors. So wow, a lot happened after the first video and we thank you for that. The car was being held by the police at forensics. It's now been released and it's arriving in a trailer in 5 minutes here at EBC worldwide headquarters, our sponsors, partners, and also friends who have told us we can store the car here securely while we continue to investigate and solve the mystery. So Alistair is with us today to accept his car into EBC's storage area. We're very thankful to EBC, very thankful to Harry Mead Transport for picking the car up from Somerset, Yeovil, and getting it here to EBC, Northamptonshire. I'm going to hear from Alistair about some of the bits on the car that's missing, etc. And I'm going to do a full walk around as well. But as I say, stay tuned. This video is explosive. We have got screen recorded evidence. The car was intact June 2022.
Yeah, we're here again today. The car has now been released by the police. I'm told the forensic took a look at the car, and when they saw it, they decided that there was nothing useful to be got from it. And the car was released, and we organised its transport from just outside Yeovil, where it was found, to be stored whilst I kind of decide what's going to happen next.
What do we think, Alistair?
Yeah, it's very sad.
Yeah.
It's very sad.
Seeing your car again, does it like bring back memories, or is it just all sadness now? What is it to you?
I think it's mainly just all sadness.
Yeah.
When it was originally stolen, the police advised me that it was probably out of the country within a couple of days. Sometimes I would think about it perhaps driving around in some country that where UK laws can't touch.
So does it make you hopeful that we've got it back, even though it hasn't got the parts, or is it still just...
I think it is still just, I mean, the amount of parts that have gone off it, the cost of them. The key would be for the police to somehow find the people who had taken it and find the parts. That's the salvation. I understand there were 23 right-hand drive cars out of a total build of about 330 worldwide. All of those came to the UK. Several were immediately exported, which left high teens, low 20s. And I'm told there's 11 or 12 left in the country. So where are you going to get the parts?
Unless we find the original ones.
That's which is the key for me, yes. Yeah, so it's finally inside off the trailer. I don't think my feelings have changed very much. I've had a look around it, and actually in the light you're seeing more and more bits and what's gone off it. There's also bodywork damage to it, some damage to carbon fibre. The interior worries me. I don't know whether that'll come off. Front bumper, the lights.
And we still have the black tape where we found it?
Yes, yes. The black tape. Apparently the police say it was completely wrapped in. It's like cellophane wrapping stuff that you would wrap, that we'd wrap something with.
So before we get into the full walk around of the Diablo 6 litre VT, just want to go through a few things. 2019, pre-COVID, Alistair has put his car in storage. Now, he would get his car serviced and looked after by Lamborghini Leicester. Lamborghini Leicester have introduced Alistair to Paul Rutter, who owns a collection of cars, has them regularly serviced, looked after by Lamborghini Leicester, and he stored this car with Paul Rutter at his home in his barns where he has his other cars stored. We get locked down for COVID, March 2020. Some point between June and July 2020, Alistair receives a letter from DVLA advising him that somebody's tried to register this Diablo in their name. Alistair gets alerted, goes to see Paul Rutter. Paul Rutter tells Alistair he thought he'd collected the car, as the car was no longer in his possession. Alistair at that point is now aware that his car's been stolen and nobody knows where it is. And that's where we got involved, and we put it out across social media. Leicestershire Police Force got involved. We had proof of life of this vehicle in a place ready to be shipped out abroad, is what we were told. Leicestershire Police making their investigations, very difficult to work with and deal with, and we didn't hear anything until December 2022, 3 months ago. At that time, the car in this state has turned up in Yeovil, Somerset, and now we have Somerset Police Force on the case. But we also know from speaking to Somerset Police Force, who have to speak to Leicester regarding the forensics, which was laborious because police forces don't speak to each other here in the UK or communicate or want to play dibs on who's in charge of the investigation. They are not communicating with the Met Police, who followed up a lead of where this car was 2.5 years ago. But now we have new evidence that this car was intact, 100% mint condition, running on fake plates, and it was taken care of by this company right here. And check out this video.
And welcome back to Car Key Solutions, your #1's leading auto locksmith, covering London, Essex and the outskirts of the M25. Today we have this 1996 Lamborghini Diablo 6-litre V12. This was brought in over the weekend to have 2 new keys cut and programmed, as it was an all lost situation.
So if we just pause it right there, look at the exhaust. Above that, there's a black metal shroud that Alistair had made for this car to protect the bumper. It is the only Diablo VT in the world that has that shroud. But also what you'll notice in their video, they've noted this as a 1996 because the number plate it was cloned with was a 96 SV. In fact, when you look at this car and you know this car, you know this is a 2001 6-litre VT. It also has 6-litre on the side on the insignia. Everything about this car we know is 100% Alistair's car that has been stolen from him in 2020. In 2022, here it is, fully intact, looking pristine as the day he last saw it. So we're going to do a full walk around the car. We're going to go painstakingly through pretty much everything that's missing, but keep hanging on till the end of the video where we visit Car Key Solutions and find out how they can help us solve this mystery. We told you it was going to be explosive, and this is probably our biggest video ever on the Petrolheadonism channel. But we're doing this for one reason and one purpose. We want Alistair's car parts back. We want to rebuild this car for him. As a friend of mine, as a member of the Lamborghini Club UK, and as a petrol head, we just want to build this car back and get it back on the road. We're also going to bring this to Petrolheadonism Underground at Wembley so you can see it as it is before we build it back. We want to make this the most famous Lamborghini in the world. Unbelievable. Clearly, the bonnet is missing. This is what it was found dressed in, and get rid of this, it's got water and stuff in it, but it was dressed in that when they found it in Yeovil, in that car park. So the bonnet is missing, we've got trim missing around the edge, obviously the obvious rubbers missing. It just looks a total state. The car's PPF'd, just front end. This is how you used to do it back in the day, just parts of it, but headlights are missing, full bumper's missing. Clearly, the magnesium wheels that came with this 6-litre VT, massively rare. We can only find one rim available right now. We have been looking for parts for this car to build it back, and that is an option. But ideally we want the parts back. There's a £5,000 reward to anybody that gives us the information that leads to the parts of this car. I remain optimistic that they are on a shelf somewhere, because the most important thing is these parts will only fit another Diablo 6-litre VT. So anybody out there building a replica, the police are going to be onto you. Anybody out there fixing a repaired one, the police are going to be onto you. Somebody out there knows something. These parts are on a shelf. Nowhere else would you see 2 Diablo doors. Now it's clear to me everything that's missing as we walk around is easily bolt on, bolt offable. As we have a look around, the whole interior is still there and the engine's still there. The big ticket item everyone knows, a 6-litre VT Diablo Lamborghini engine, big money. That's the first thing you'd strip out and remove and sell. So everybody, whenever we talk to them, is so surprised that the engine is still in place. Obviously the headlights are 300ZX headlights from a Nissan, but that's what it is. That's how they built them. There's some obvious bits like indicators. As we've said, we've got the doors missing. While we're at this point, Scoot, have a look inside the interior. Now, from that video, June 2022, this interior, the whole car was absolutely mint. Between June 2022 and December 2022, we have no idea where this car was kept. I personally believe this interior can be brought back up to scratch. It can be fixed, it can be repaired, it can be renewed. So the fact that we've got the interior is amazing. But to get in this condition between June 22 and December 2022, has this been left in a farm somewhere? Has it been left outside to the elements, uncovered? Like the levels of dirt on the car around it, you know, they had keys made for it, so therefore the car started and ran. Has it been driven to its last place of resting? And then why, at the end of December, did it get moved from that place, wherever it was, and dumped in a car park in Yeovil, where the police were just looking for something else, came across it, assumed it was a kit car, checked out the VIN number, ran it through their system, and realised it was Alistair's stolen Diablo, missing from June 2020. As you can have a look at the engine and the rear here, Scoot, we're missing the rear lights, we're missing the back bumper, we're missing the exhaust. Now the exhaust on this VT is 2 huge pipes, but we're also missing the black shroud that Alistair had made to protect the bumper. You're missing all the carbon fibre which inlays around the engine area. And again, they're all parts that bolt on, bolt off very quickly. So were these guys in a rush to strip what they could before dumping the car? Not that it's enjoyable to watch, but hope you can see what we're missing. And if any of you out there have any information that can lead us to finding the parts, even if it's a phone call and it gives us the parts, Alistair will wire you £5,000 reward. Okay, we don't need to meet you. We don't need to have anybody behind bars. We just want to build this car back. Hopefully you can help by sharing out this video. Let's see what happens when we go to Car Key Solutions. We're just after more information. Let's go. So as promised, we're here in Brentwood at Car Key Solutions to find out if these guys can shed any light on why and where the Lamborghini Diablo 6-litre VT, which they believed was an SV, went to, where it came from. Let's find out. Yellow Lamborghini Diablo.
Right.
N666 LAM came here last June.
Right. Okay, let me speak to my manager. What do you need help with?
The car was stolen from my friend 2.5 years ago.
If you will come here to make a key for a vehicle, yeah, why not? As long as you give me some documents and
Exactly.
it looks like it is, fair enough.
They paid for it, or they've done
They
something.
paid cash.
Right.
I know for sure because I took the payment for that.
Okay.
I mean, someone brought the vehicle here,
Yeah.
and we done the work, and then someone come and collect the vehicle and went. And they were like 3 or 4 guys. They came on the day when they paid for the service,
Yeah.
you know. But I won't be able to tell you more than that. Someone who came here to collect the car and give me the money, or is to take a picture to the driving license or an ID, and this is the ID that. So it's Essex somewhere here, you know. The car here for like a week, I think. They called a few times, never turn up, and then they call and said, "We are ready to I mean, are we ready to pick up the car? And I said yes. I said, okay, we will come today. They will arrange a transport and everything. You know, so like I said, a big lorry turned up here. It was a lorry that was capable of transporting like high-end cars, you know.
Yeah.
The one that the ramp was very low and stuff like that.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay, we've just left Car Key Solutions. They are an innocent player in this, and we thank them for their time. We have a name and we have some information for the police. Hopefully I can say tune in next time where it gets even grittier. Thanks for supporting. Please ensure you share this video. Click like, subscribe to the channel. We're bringing you more. We want to build this car back, follow it through. We're not only doing Matt Armstrong, we rebuild a car. We are finding the stolen car, rebuilding the car and putting it back on the road for our friend Alistair. Stay tuned for episode 3.